Okay, I wanted to show you a couple of features of QuickRoute here. So I'm sitting in a parking lot here, and let's just do a search for a destination. There's an LL Bean not too far away. Actually, I'm going to start the record so you can see the screen up close. Okay, so now if I search for LL Bean, there it is. It gives me my route. And now what I want to do is, instead of going down this road, let's put in an alert there that there is some road repair. So that road is now impassable. And so if we search again, LL Bean, there we go. Now my route avoids that and comes around. And that's the same for any of the alerts that we put in. So any of the road hazards, flooding, traffic incidents, debris in the road, immediately we get routed around that. And we can also pre-plan those with the road construction interface that's going to be part of the ECC and admin app. So this is much faster than it was in the previous version where we had to wait several minutes. Now it's pretty much instantaneous. We get routed around these things immediately. Now I think you've seen the presets for the different auto-populated vehicle types. So we have lots of vehicle types that we've been able to tune using information that was available from the manufacturers about the size and weight and turning radius and things like that. But we can also create this custom vehicle parameter. So really excited about this. So basically any vehicle that is in use, we can customize it, enter in the name and type, and then all the vehicle stats, and then that flows through into the routing. So we can know whether you can go over a bridge, we can know where you can go under a tunnel, that sort of thing immediately by putting in your custom stats for your vehicle. So that's another cool feature that we've introduced this year. All right, thanks. We'll move to the next demo. Okay, so the next thing that I have to show you is I have several devices here. So I'm going to set up a route in QuickRoute on this device using Apple Maps on this device and Google Maps on this device. And I'll screenshot all of them so we can all see what's happening here. Okay, so we'll look for that same 1691 chain bridge. Now the Google device. Oh wait, I messed that up, hold on. There we go. Maps, okay. So 1691 Chainbridge Road. Start. Okay. And then Apple Maps. Start that record. And at 1691 Chainbridge. Go. Okay. So everybody should be recording, and hopefully you can see them all on the screen here. So let's start going, and the reason we do this is we want to see how the directions compare between the different services. So each of them are a little bit different, and what we're looking for is just to see that they're pretty much in sync. When we did the OFA last year, there was a comment, well, it was pretty apparent that there were some problems with syncing where the vehicle was and where the directions were telling us to go. So we had like a lag. There was a lag in doing updates, and so we basically rebuilt the entire back end of QuickRoute since then. So we got a couple of nice benefits from that. We can now operate anywhere in the U.S. So all 50 states are live now in QuickRoute, and we can navigate anywhere. We don't have to bring on a state at a time like we used to with the old system. and we should see much better improvement in where we are relative to the other systems. So I'll just drive along here a little bit, and we will show that before we get set up for the next part of the demo. So hopefully on the screen you can see through the window where we actually are. Maybe you can read street names, I'm not sure, but you can compare that to where we are on the map in each of the three systems. Another thing we can do here, if the traffic will play along, is we can make the systems reroute. So let's make them all reroute at the same time and see what happens. So just like we had with earlier versions of QuickRoute, I can drop a hazard. I can drop road repair as needed, and that's actually going to update the routing. So if I try to route back through here to get back to where I came from, QuickRoute should route me around those problems if they're still in the system. So just like before, they stay for 2 hours. And if someone comes along and confirms it again, it resets the clock, so you can keep road obstacles live longer. Or if it's been cleared, you can clear it. And anybody that's a verified public safety user will be able to implement those alerts. The public users who buy QuickRoute for personal use, even if they're with a emergency services organization, unless we can verify them, we won't add that feature. They basically can't turn on that feature unless they're in the enterprise version, and we're working with their county to implement that. It's really just a switch that we have to turn on, but there were some security concerns and very real things about letting people create alerts who we haven't verified. So we're going to have a verification process for making sure that only first responders are using that feature. Otherwise, they can see the alternative routing. They just won't be able to impact anybody else's routing. So there's still some value in the individual users getting it. They can still create alerts, they can still communicate with other users, but they won't be able to impact other people's routing. Another change we'll go ahead and look at while we're at this stoplight is this emergency mode. So for every vehicle type, we can now use civilian mode or standard routing rules and emergency road. So if I click this little light icon here, it's going to reroute, and what it's doing is it's using that alternative routing rules mode. So it's basically the equivalent to going on lights and sirens. Now my vehicle can exceed the speed limit, I can go the wrong way on one-way roads, exit ramps, I can use private property, I can turn in through median interchange, things like that, while I'm in emergency mode. Okay, so I think you've probably seen the syncing of the devices. I'll let that roll for a while, but I'll go ahead with some of the other features here since we're out driving. It'll be easier to show you than in the conference room. So I'll stop this on QuickRoute, and probably our biggest feature that's apparent to the users is our road profiles, so the transportation modes. So I have a custom vehicle type set up for my truck, Nissan Frontier. That's the one I'm driving in. We have lots of presets. So if you remember the last OFA, if you were a part of that, we only had 4 presets. We had emergency car, civilian car, emergency truck, civilian truck, and that was kind of a catch-all. Now we have very specific vehicle types, and the parameters for all these vehicle types came from manufacturer specifications and regulations at the federal level. So these are much closer to what the actual vehicles will be. And then you can also put in a custom vehicle. So if I have a very specific vehicle type, I can enter in the curb weight, I can enter in all the shape parameters, and how much my regulations are on how much I can exceed the speed limit into a custom vehicle. So that's another really great feature. As part of the new back end that we added, we're able to do these custom real-time scenarios. We don't have to pre-compile them all. So the custom vehicles is a new thing for this year. Hi everyone. So I'm out using QuickRoute, and I called a colleague of mine, Ryan, to at 4:40. He has the ECC app up on his computer. He's at his office at home. And at 4:40 he's going to send me a link to an address. So I'm just going to drive around. I don't have to have the QuickRoute app open. I can just be, my phone can be locked. I can just be sitting here using the app. So I thought we have a couple of minutes, so I thought I would just get moving here and be ready when it comes in. There it is. Okay, so route to incident, 1961 Chain Bridge Road. So I just click that. Oh, I wasn't logged in. Let me log in. Here we go. So there's my alert. It's navigating now. It's rerouting because I'm heading the other way.
Avenue, then turn left onto Woodford Road. Head east on Electric Avenue, then turn left onto Woodford Road, SR 697.
All right, I'm going to turn the voice off so I can speak to it.